Today I'm going to give a small presentation on a very niche topic called researching the Solana ecosystem, some challenges, learnings, and opportunities. So before starting, like a brief introduction about me. So like I have been in the fintech industry for the past 2-3 years, then entered into crypto. So been a part of super team for almost 2 years now. And I also had the privilege to directly contribute to Solana Foundation on the stablecoin initiatives. And also like I have published over 30 articles on the Solana ecosystem, and that's what brings me here today. And if you have seen that DP on Twitter, that's me. So now, before starting, what is ecosystem research? So it's basically like any research you do and publish to help grow the ecosystem. So it can be like state of the ecosystem articles or thesis-led or even case studies. So like while core research helps in protocol development, ecosystem research helps in ecosystem development. So let's say if you are doing research on validators or Solana fee market, that will directly help the protocol, that is the Solana blockchain. And if you are doing ecosystem research, that will in turn help in developing the ecosystem. So why Solana needs more ecosystem research? The simple answer is setting up the narrative. So right now, if you see, there's very less discussion about Solana outside the ecosystem, which has been changing recently due to price update. But earlier, they used to label Solana is dead and so on. And contrast to EVM ecosystem, Solana doesn't have a lot of Solana native media, VCs, and publications. And that's what is lacking right now on Solana. And the primary objective of doing ecosystem research is to portray Solana as a consumer chain and attract more founders to the ecosystem, which will also in turn lead to network effects and enable more products. So let's say they can refer this ecosystem articles and so on and get more ideas and build meaningful products which are actually suited to the market needs. And if you are doing ecosystem research, you have two approaches. So one is doing based on original thoughts. So if you have a thesis in your mind, you can start writing articles on that and basically publish that. And if you don't have any idea in mind or any thesis in your mind, you can start by curating from different information sources. So let's say if you're writing an article on 1:1 art market, then you can curate from different sources and publish an article which will help others to get an insight when they want to understand the 1:1 market. Even Mert had a tweet which went viral, and it was basically having a Solana writing hackathon. And I think that's what exactly is ecosystem research. Now coming to how I do research. So there, first I basically go to secondary sources. So let's say go to publication reports, podcast, Twitter, and also look at what are different projects at EVM, because many times the projects are very similar to the EVM ecosystem. And then when I have gathered all the insights, then I go to founders of the projects and try to get some first-hand insights from them. And once I get some first-hand insights, I start structuring them and start collecting data from different sources. And data is very important, just because anything you are writing, it should be backed up by some numbers or insights. And once you've collected all the data, then the most critical part comes in, that is designing the graphics and flowcharts. And I think most of the people ignore this, but this is very important, because your aesthetic of the cover image and all the graphics will enable readers to make that decision if they want to spend 10-15 minutes of the time to read your article or not. And once you have done that, it's simply articulation. And then comes the also important part, which is the distribution. Many times people spend a lot of time writing an article, but they don't distribute it well. So I think that is also very critical, which I have learned recently, that you should spend more time distributing that as well. Now I also believe that ecosystem research are public goods. So if you see from taking my own examples, so I published that DeFi ecosystem map which went pretty viral and which was also forked multiple times on Twitter. And then I also made Solana payments.fund, which basically enabled more than 15-20 founders in the ecosystem to find a list of on-ramps and off-ramps. And that enabled lot of on-ramp and off-ramp aggregation on Solana. And many of the articles were also contributed to build.superteam.fun. In fact, like around 50-60 ideas have been like directly or indirectly via these articles. And then like there's another platform called Cubic, which you might be aware of. So that was also like partially like inspired from an article we wrote on Gitcoin, basically like Gitcoin on Solana. So yeah, these are some of the examples, and I feel that like since these are like public goods, they should be definitely be funded. So right now, Solana lacks like good funding resources, or you can say like lack good platform for funding public goods. But like right now also, you can get funded via Solana Foundation or communities like Super Team. Even like platforms like Cubic can enable you to like raise funds for your research. And also like there's another way that you can go to the project directly, or many times project will have a grants program. So let's say like Wormhole has a X grants program where you can like apply for the X grants and get funded for writing anything around Wormhole or cross-chain arena. And like personally, like how I got funded was like initially like I was doing like lot of super team bounties, and also like wrote lot of articles of interest, and from that like I developed proof of credibility and then applied for grants where and then it became very easier because like I already had a lot of proof of work and history of delivering those grants. Now here are a few ideas, like if you are interested in writing on the ecosystem research, you can look at. So if you see like first like state of the ecosystem, so there are a lot of like particular niche sectors in Solana which are right now not very like basically well written. So like there's DeepIn, like no one has written a state of DeepIn article on Solana, and Solana is like the biggest chain for DeepIn right now. Then consumer mobile, then you can also write on spot dexes, order books, and so on. And the second part is like basically thesis-led articles. So you can also write on like particular thesis you have on mind. So AI cross crypto is something like which foundation is very actively looking into, and like they also have a $10 million fund. But right now there's lack of ideas for builders on like what they can build. So if you have any cool ideas for AI cross crypto, then you can write on that. Then you can also write on the emerging trends. So SocialFi has been recently gaining a lot of attention. So you can write on that as well. Like I think there's Hub3 on Solana and a lot of other projects as well. So another is like product case studies. So let's say if you have an idea that like how Airbnb or apps like Uber can like integrate Solana, then you can also write a full-fledged case study along with UI UX mockup and that, which will enable like builders to essentially like look into like what are the different things that they can build, and like kind of serve as a playbook for building for them. And then you can also write on like some only possible on Solana technologies like token 2022 or maybe even Fire Dancer, like what will be the impact of Fire Dancer when it is live for a DeFi and so on. And you can, and then lastly, like you can write on a particular project. So let's say if you have your favorite project, you can just start writing on that and like get some traction from the founders as well. So lastly, like you can check out my work at hsm.medium.com. And if you have like any ideas or anything you want to discuss, or if you have any collaborative opportunities, just let me know. And yeah, like these are my socials. Like I'm HSM on Twitter as well as like Telegram. And if you have any questions or anything, like I will be around. So yeah, happy to discuss. Yeah, thank you.